Hello and welcome to Keeney's Corner. My name is Zucchini Murphy and I am the creator of Keeney's Corner. In Keeney's Corner, I do different series where I talk to small business owners, very interesting people, book authors, and just all around amazing, extraordinary people. This month, the month of July of 2026, I am starting a series called Brownsville's Best. Now, to give you a little bit of history about Brownsville, Brownsville is a section in Brooklyn. So New York City, for those of you who are not familiar with it, New York City is made up of 5 boroughs. You got Brooklyn, the Bronx, Manhattan, Queens, and Staten Island. Brooklyn, the boroughs, the 5 boroughs are also broken down into neighborhoods or communities. And each neighborhood has a reputation for different things. So in Brooklyn, there's Brownsville, there's East New York, Park Slope, Red Hook, Brooklyn Heights, Crown Heights, Bed-Stuy. So you may have heard of some of those. I was born and raised in the Brownsville section of Brooklyn. And for anyone who's from Brooklyn or from New York or familiar with it, Brownsville is one of the worst neighborhoods in Brooklyn. But growing up, I didn't feel that way because I was surrounded by love. I grew up with both parents. I grew up with my aunts, uncles, cousins. So I didn't know until I got older. Now, to give you a little bit of history, Brownsville got the name. Brownsville came about, I want to say, I did a little bit of research in the 1920s. It was known as Little Jerusalem because so many Russian Jews lived there. And then in the 1940s, Brownsville was predominantly a Jewish community. And it had like maybe 6% blacks. Then right after the Korean War, things started to take a change in the 1950s. That's when the Jewish people fled from Brownsville. And then in the 1960s, it grew from 6% to about 75% of blacks and Puerto Ricans. And then they began to, I think in like the 1950s, to develop what they now call as projects, which is operated and ran by New York City Housing Authority, which we call NYCHA. Now, right now, I believe it's about 18 different projects in Brownsville. Yeah, so that's a lot of people living together. Now, when I grew up in Brownsville, we had like the block parties, we had the jams outside, we jumped double dutch, we played outside. There was no shootings. They had crimes. You had fights and things like that. But the most you had to worry about was either getting jumped, hit with a glass bottle, a bat, or maybe a knife. But it wasn't that bad for me when I grew up in the 60s and 70s. 80s in Brownsville. And I knew that it's very, very different now. So I created this series, Brownsville's Best, to introduce you guys to some people I know who grew up in Brownsville, survived it, and now they are doing wonderful. And I want showcase these people. I want you to see how we all grew up in the same hood, how we all had the same opportunities. Sadly, some didn't take those opportunities to do a little bit better in life. And it's not to say that once you move out of Brownsville that you're better than other people, but you want a better life. You don't want to have to worry about the high crime, because crime is everywhere. But you know, in some areas, crime is higher than others. So, welcome to Keeney's Corner, and I'm so excited to introduce you to some of Brownsville's best. I am very interested in hearing what you have to say, so leave your comments, your questions, and I will do my best to respond. Thank you so much. Welcome to Keeney's Corner. Get a seat. Stay a while.